So I'm going to talk about for arranged marriage. Technically, it is not arranged marriage, but it is called Chinese culture because even what is the difference is arranged marriage and Chinese culture. Arranged marriage this is only Chinese people do, right? Even when you are older, like you are 30 year or 40 year or 50 year, parents make the arrange for their children. So it is called arranged marriage. So who did that one? Only Chinese people did that one. So it is called Chinese culture. But I saw some of the Indian people, they have also arranged marriage too. Is that because of they think kind of oh, Chinese culture is a good, so they are behaving the same like Chinese? Maybe, right? Right? Technically it is a Chinese culture. Now my generation and next generation, we even did not want to use that tisa for our wedding, right? Even for the arranged marriage, for tisa also very traditional, very old model style, right? For the first time, after our wedding, the first time we met with the um, like bride, not bride, it's called from the groom side family. When we met, so we offer the tea to to his family and relative. So it is called so the bride need to bring the tea set. If the bride didn't have money, the groom will pay for the tea set, right? But technically, who are married to the very poor woman, right? For in general, for every people. For example, if you are millionaire, you are going to find a millionaire care, right? Are you going to marry to the homeless? No. So you don't even need to worry about the groom will pay for the tea set. Right now, there's a no-brainer like Mark Brown, my co-worker, truck driver. He just spread the rumor. Oh, he paid for the tea set for me. I mean, really? Your people, your African environment spread the rumor. They're like, I got the arranged marriage with a principal, African principal. So are you insane? Oh, so now can you agree with the African principle for arranged marriage? No. You two people African. Are you all insane? Do you really think I want marry to Mark Brown and principal? Because I already have the billionaire white guy, Representative Maya, former Representative Maya. Or the guy from the Champagne Public Library. I don't even know his job title. Is that a security or the head of the head of the Champagne Public Champagne Public Library? I don't know. Maybe he is the head of the Champagne Public Library, or maybe he's just a security. I mean, if you want to spread the rumor, I want a billionaire, former representative Maya. Then how about the Champagne Public Library guy? He looked like a security, right? So before you want to call me a hoe, you need to check my background. Before you say oh, you want to escape from Mark Brown and then you just admit that the marriage with the African principal. No, I am buying the tea set and wedding plate with my boyfriend. I can't even show the proof. Representative Maya, former Representative Maya, right? So think with your head. So that tea set, we even use that as a New Year celebration. For tea set, we drink tea every day or once a week. But we give the precious to we give the priority. How priority is very precious, right? The high priority to the tea set because tea set is the first time the wedding couple met with groom family and relative. They and offer tea by using tea set from the bride side, right? Unless the bride is very poor, the groom will pay for tea set, right? So technically the bride will definitely buy that tea set, even she is very poor or homeless. See that one? See how tea set is very important. The groom will pay for it. Mark Brown, think with your own head. It is just a tea set, but it looks like a tea set is your marriage. Why? Why? Tea set put in a cage, right? A cage. It looks like a nest. So the nest means like the nest for their family, right? So it is like kind of like bird nest, right? Even like Chinese have bird nest soup for medicine. Am I right? So like this is like Chinese tradition. So how important is that? Well, Chinese want to keep the culture as a very important. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But a lot of people did not even use that tea set anymore. Did not offer tea after wedding at home anymore. But some old traditional people are still doing that way. Okay? So that tea set is used for offering the tea to the guy family from the woman family. From the woman family and woman side on the day of the wedding. After we came from the church or the place we did a wedding ceremony. So this is the first time gathering as a family at a guy's home. So it is very important for a woman as a bride. So main point, you as a lower races need to control your own desire to get a Paris as your girlfriend or spouse. Am I right? So 10% of the Americans will date with the lower races. 0.0001% will date with the lower races. Am I right? Only 10%. So how many chances you can get? Only 0.001% will date with the lower races. So you as a lower races cannot accept the percentage, right? So like even America is a 10%, that is a Chinese percent. Am I right? So like because why discrimination occur? Because lower races cannot accept the percentage. Like the American and Chinese will date with the lower races. So you want to increase that percentage? Is that possible? Is that possible? Impossible, right? So control it. So control your desire. Control your desire. Okay? So 20% of the US population are African. So I'm going to talk about 20% of the US population. 20% of the US population is how many zones we have? We have 4 zones. Where East Coast, Middle, and how about mountain time zone? And how about west area, west zone, right? California. So how many time zones? We have 4 time zones. So technically for each area, we can take as the 25%. Am I right? 20. We have how many time zones? How many zones? 4 zones. So 4 zones. Each zone will be only 25%. So 25% of the US population are African. Is that possible? So like think with your own head. It is census data. Census data that I prove that wrong. Is that possible? So how about African area, African country? African country is only one zone of America. How can we have 20%? US population in United States. 20% of the US population of the African are in United States. Think with your own head, right? Right. Maybe that 20% means 20% of the African from African country came to United States. So it should be like this way, right? Technically, it should be right. Not 20% of the US population are African. Am I right? So how can I calculate 20% of the US population, right? 20% of the US, 20% of the African from African country. So if we divided African country 20%, or we can divide it like United States have 50 states. So each time zone has 12 states, right? Right? Each time zone has 12 states. 12 divided by 5. Why 5? 20%, right? Divided by 5. 5, 2 is 10, and 20 is 2.4, right? So 2.4 state. 2.4 state will be 20% of the African from African country. So only 2.4 states of African. 2.4 states are African in United States. How did we see African a lot in United States? And everywhere. Why? Why did that happen? I don't know. So is that psychological trick, right? Or the government trick, right? So why am I talking about? Why am I talking about the population? So people got mistreated. People who live in United States say got an idea that all African got American. How come? Right? So African what 20% can take with American. African, how many percent of the US population are African? 20%. African want all 20% of US population. In other words, African population in United States can take with American. So only 1% of the US population are Chinese. 1% can take with Chinese. Am I right? So only 1% of the US population are Chinese. So I need to make it very clearly. 20% of the US population are African population. Only 1% of the US population are Chinese. So all African went to date with American and Chinese. So no discrimination law is it. American culture is it. So Africans spread the rumor that all Americans are sleeping with African right now. Right? According to the American culture, where one white guy will sleep with African for 10 years. For 10 years, right? For 10 years. For example, if you are 30 years old, 35 years old, you can sleep with 4 American guys. 10 years for one guy. They will definitely break up with you because they want to escape from you. So 40 years for 4 guys. So when you reach to 65-year-old, you already got 4 American guy. Am I right? So they are showing me that percentage. Am I right? So 20% of the African, 20% of the US population are African. African. They all can sleep with American guy or woman. So 1% can get 4, 20% can get 80. Right? So 1% means 1%, right? It's equal to 1%. So how many percent? Almost all. Only 80%. Only 80% of the US population are American. So all American sleep with African, right? Very proud of you, African. I am so proud of you. Is that possible? So because of that one, they are doing census data they are doing like emotional or mentally trick their census data. So I prove that census data is wrong. Why? Why? Want to give donation to lower races as husband or wife from American side. Do you deny for that statement? Census data force all American people to sleep with all lower races. Is that the right things? It is the way America are trying to hurt lower races. Okay, so it proved that all 4th world and 5th world people are prostitute and homeless. Period, right? So if we know what happened, we can solve the problem. Right? This is like I always talk about that one. I'm not going to talk about that one again. Okay? So you need to differentiate between a whole and get discriminated and mistreated by the upper races, American and Chinese. American and Chinese can do discrimination and break up the relationship, right? But we can show public to the mistreatment of them and delete their whole name by using defamation lawsuit to back to them. The same, American and Chinese can use harassment and try to get money. Hedy Maya sued her husband that he tried to get the money from a billionaire. As Hedy Maya or a person. I was $1 million and I am almost homeless, the same like 20% US population of Africa. Right? Once upon a time, I'm $1 million. Right? So my family got blocked or allowed Chinese government to shut down the millionaire business. Why? Want to escape from Myanmar and African prostitute. Even I do not want to take the name of I'm wrong. Even the name of wrong, I cannot accept it. Right? Do you think I will get humiliated by saying lie to the public without getting a white guy? If my lie were not affected and I will not get success, what will I get? A whole name. A whole name I will get. It is what it to try. So I already show like without evidence like a lawyer. If you can speak very clearly and strictly or politely, you will win a case. Am I look like a lawyer? No, right?